How's it going, everyone? Daniel here. It's time to review Tyrant Season 3, Episode 6, titled Truth and Dignity. Spoiler review. Make sure you have seen the episode. It should take me about 3 minutes to recap it, give you the pros, cons, and final score. Thanks so much for joining me. And this episode alone, man, last week, remember, I'm not going to spoil nothing from last week, but I was bored last week. That episode was just... This episode brought me to remember why I love Tyrant. Why Tyrant is so fun and a very underrated show. But so far Season 3 has been really fun. It's been really good. It's been very heartbreaking, very dramatic. And that's a good thing. I really do enjoy the Tyrant dramatic and how they've done things. And a lot of deaths have gone on. So last week was the only episode where I was like, this is the episode, like, last week you could skip last week's episode, honestly, and you'll still be fine within the storyline. This episode itself, though, had a big moment, and let's get right onto it, and remember, spoilers, it was just insane on how they did it and what they did, and it's going crazy, man, and next week's promo literally looks like shot for shot. Next week's promo, literally, the way that it was done, it feels like it's a finale. And that's weird, because next week is episode 7, and yet it feels like this is a finale, or this is a mid-season finale, or this is something huge. It looks like it's almost shot like a movie. Like, almost like if, it's like a little mini movie, which is exciting for me, very exciting, so I'm very happy what they're doing with Tyrant so far. Let's get around to it. I just kind of want to tell you my little, my sense into what I think Tyrant is doing so far. It's really amazing. So anyway, this girl kills this soldier. You want to take a selfie? And then, they didn't get the selfie down. The girl ended up stabbing one of the soldiers, of the U.S. soldiers. So that was, and it reminded me of something, because I remember in Season 2, there was where somebody was, it's one of those blockades, one of those checkpoints, and then there was a bomb. There was a big explosion that happened, and I was like, great. Are they going to rehash it, or are they just going to have somebody blow up something, as is with shows where it's a checkpoint. Oh, hello. They're going to blow up something. No, they actually just had the girl end up killing the guy, and then she was shot about 3 or 4 times, so that was something intense there. And she dies. The Caliphate are recruiting a bunch of people. Dahlia is in a triangle with Fozzie and with Barry, kind of a love triangle going on. Really, Dahlia doesn't love Fozzie, but Fozzie really likes her, so she's not like, ew, get away from me. She's more like, oh, yeah, okay. And then she's really with Barry, like, god damn, that's Adam Rayner there, man. Like, oh yeah, okay. That beard, I think it's the beard that gets her, really, I think. But still, it's kind of a little mini love triangle going on there with Fozzie and Bassam and Dahlia. So Fozzie asked Dahlia to marry her, which is kind of out of nowhere. I like that. I like how it wasn't like, oh, it was just out of nowhere, just like, all right, marry me. Because you could see, when Fozzie looks at her, you could literally see the love. You could see that he's madly in love with this woman. And it just takes her by surprise. And it was just a very well thought out scene. He ends up leaving, and then there's this whole meeting there in the commission, and a shooting happens. This is something that was scary, and the way it was shot and the way it was reacted out, and you could hear the screams in the back. There was probably about 3 or 4 shooters in the room, and this guy ends up protecting Dahlia, and Dahlia's face is covered, sprayed with blood, and now she's just on the floor hearing people get shot and screaming for their lives. And that alone, I was like, holy shit. Whoa. Like, I didn't expect that. I don't think anyone expected that, and it took me by surprise. I really wish I had filmed my reaction. I was just like, the whole time, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I had to walk out of the room for a second, go outside, get some air, literally, and come back inside because it's on my DVR, so I just paused it, went back, and then I came back in, and then I got back to Tyrant, man. Like, it is something that was intense. So the attacks on the news, Dahlia wants no more killing. She tells Bassam, I don't want no more killing, not even in my name. Don't kill people in my name, because Bassam says, I'm going to kill every one of them. No, I don't want no more killing. No more of that. So Sam's boyfriend is called in. I forgot his name. I know they said his name. It's like Professor something, but he's the professor. He's called in, and well, Sam's angry at his dad, and he's like, "What? You're angry because I'm with him or something?" And he's like, "Who? Wait, what? Oh, like Sam? I didn't know Sammy." And he was like, "Shit. Well, cat's out of the bag now, I guess. That's out there." So the guy talks to Rashid, this guy named Al-Qadi, Al-Qaidi. I can't say it right, excuse me for that. But anyway, he talks to Rashid and almost dies. He's sent back to his home. But the police catch him. The police end up bringing him in to go talk to Bassam. So that happens. Sam's lover wants him gone. And it was funny how he was like, "Leave." He literally was like, "Leave. Go. Leave. Just, I don't want you here, man." Poor Sam. He was like, "I was defending you. Leave. I don't want you here no more." And it's sort of like if Mr. Bean, I always been trying to rehearsing this, but if Mr. Bean was in the room, he would probably be like, "Oh," like he'd probably be like, "Oh," because that's what I was like, "Oh shit." He's like, "Leave." Like, who says that? Like, who's leave? Like, who's to say leave? But it's still very intense, and he's pissed off. You feel the anger, and you're like, well, that's over with. Damn it. All right. That's it. They're broken apart. They're gone. So, I don't know if Sam's going to try to get back with him later or something, but Sam should have said, "It ain't my fault. I didn't know you were going to be put in there. I didn't say nothing," because Sam never said anything about that, for one thing, so it's not his fault. Anyway, that happens. Ahmed wants to get closer to Barry. Ahmed, which is, of course, what we thought was Jamal's son, but it's Bassam's son. So that ends up happening there. Dahlia needs Barry, and Fozzie ends up getting dissed. Fozzie, she says, "Fozzie, you're a good guy, but no." And, well, okay. So that's it for Fozzie and Dahlia. Layla resigns from being secretary of Abuddin. So she's still running for president, but she's not going to be the madam secretary or whatever. She's not going to be that stuff, or, she's resigning from that. So that means she leaves the palace and she's going to go live with her sister or something. So that happens. There's a person spying on her and Cogswell at the end of the episode. So what did I think about this episode overall, man? First off, let me give you the pros. I thought just from that scene alone of the shooting was intense. Like, fast-paced, your heart's beating, you're thinking, oh shit, is Dahlia gonna die? Is this, Fozzie just left? You're thinking literally, I don't think no one saw like, oh, she's gonna survive somehow, she's dead, that's it. But the way that they did it, perfectly shot, the directing of it, the cinematography, the look of it, it was intense. It was just one of the best things I've seen out of TV shows this year. Also, I think Mr. Robot's my favorite TV show this year. And they did, last week, they did something similar with a shooting scene. And this was just it was scary, it was just there. It was perfectly well done. So intense, the acting was so fantastic. I love just everyone did an awesome job this week. Every character had, a little moment. I felt bad for Ahmed. He wants to get close to his father, even though Barry doesn't know that that's his son. And literally, he's like, give me a job, give me something to do. And then here comes the general, always having to do something. And Ahmed, Barry literally forgot about Ahmed and just walked away. You know what I mean? Ahmed's just kind of there. You need to give him something of a job, and you just feel bad for him. The acting, the shooting, the directing, the cinematography, Dahlia, even the character Dahlia, she's so beautiful, and it's just, she's going through so much too, and her acting when she was like, no more killing in my name, you felt it, man. A lot of this you could feel. You could actually feel their pain and their sorrow, and I just lost my, when he was talking to Al-Qadi, he was like, you went to a man who killed my daughter. He was pissed, he was angry, he got up, and he was screaming at this man, saying that, that's it, you're going in trial. Ain't no more bullshit. I ain't doing this. He got away from me once. I ain't making the same mistake again. And you feel that. When he was making that speech right after the shooting, and he was like, anyone who is near the Caliphate, anyone who is, associated with the Caliphate, you're being brought in, and you felt that. So that was really awesome. Ahmed trying to get close, like I said, and then Sam's situation there, I thought was very well done too. And you kind of feel for Sam. You kind of like Sam's kind of going for this guy, and it's not my fault, and the guy just pushes him away. So those were the pros. Now to the cons. I did think towards the end of the episode, towards the last 10 minutes, it kind of got slow. It kind of really ended up getting a little slow there. So that was kind of the only problem that I had with this episode, honestly. That and I guess Ihab Rashid, with the girl that he's with and everything. I thought it was a cute little moment, that he's found, I guess, a woman that is into him and doesn't see him as a monster. That won't make Rashid human. Rashid is always going to be a monster, technically. But he's like, you're not afraid. But it was just a very weird scene because she was like, oh, well, you put your one hand in a jar or something, or your good hand. And, that scene alone, it wasn't bad, but it was just kind of, out there, it was weird. It was kind of, a little different to see. So, yeah, I mean, I don't have much problem with this episode whatsoever, guys. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really fun, good episode. Not fun, but more dramatic, traumatic, too, of an episode. I really enjoyed it, man. I really, really thought it was a good episode. It wasn't great, wasn't fantastic, but for the most part, the shooting scene, Fozzie, I mean, you felt bad for Fozzie. You think, man, that him and Dahlia would be perfect because, Barry, you're married. You're married. You don't need Dahlia. But then again, I don't like Molly, so actually, any guy could get with Dahlia, I guess. One of them. But I would say Fozzie deserves Dahlia more than anything. But overall, I'm going to give this episode a B+. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. You could comment down below, tell me what you guys thought about Tyrant. And I'll see you guys next week for more. You can hit that subscribe button. And I do movie reviews, TV show reviews, much more, man. You can share with your friends and hit that like button if you enjoyed the review. Till next time, bye-bye.